Good morning, Tim Sykes here. Another video lesson, another day where I just picked the single biggest percent winner in the entire markets. Not saying it to brag, just to help you understand that this stuff is predictable. It is replicable. It is happening nearly every day. I think out of the last like 10 trading days, I think I've picked the biggest winner like six or actually now 7 times out of 10. It's not every day. Okay, but it's pretty cool that there are tens of thousands of stocks and I'm picking the single biggest one from the open. Money to be made if you're prepared. That's what it comes down to. I'm now up 744,000 on the year, and all of it gets donated because again, I'm teaching the process. Let me just show you what I've done today. Nearly 7 grand today, pretty much because, I picked the biggest winner. And I actually, even on ASTC, which wasn't the biggest winner, I underestimated it. So it's a pretty good habit to get into, selling too soon, especially in this slightly more difficult market to begin September. But on BTDG, I mean, first of all, you need the right tools. It blows my mind how people are asking me in chat, like, how did you find this? It doesn't show up on Finviz or stockcharts.com, or, there's a million other like little free or cheap scanners, because you're cheaping out your education. You're cheaping out your tools. You're cheaping out your weapons. This is a battlefield. And if you use Finviz or one of these other websites that doesn't specialize in low price stocks, you are not giving yourself the best chance to survive or thrive on this battlefield. Okay? This is not magic that I found BTDG. This is stocks to trade. I'm going to include 2 links below this video because right now I'm just pissed off. Stocks to trade, you can try it for a lousy $7. Also, we have this breaking news chat, which, you need to use stocks to trade. Then you add this on. It's 2 ex-hedge fund traders. I've known them for years. They don't just report all the breaking news in the world. They curate to low price stocks, and they had BTDG. So between it being, in the breaking news and then using the scans on stocks to trade, that's how I found BTDG. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's not fraud. It's strategy. And ASTC also had news. This was on the breaking news. This one's choppier. I bought it on the high of the day breakout. I'll go into BTDG in a second, but I bought this on the high of the day breakout, right onto this, strong candle, and I got into this choppiness. It did go a little higher, but I wasn't having it when it doesn't break out. ASTC, in case you don't know, I mean, terrible chart right now. So some people are like, why are you buying this? Look at multiple time frames. It spiked big before. Look at this back in March. And if you go out a few years, back in 2018 and go back even more, back in 2017, and really the biggest spike was here in 2016. So the longer you're in this game, you'll see it in real time. Very similar news every time. They have this testing equipment. They keep getting more and more certifications. It doesn't seem like it's actually panning out. So that's probably why today's pop is like the least. But, it's the same. It's literally the same kind of news every time. So I went for the high of the day breakout buy, and did not really get much. It did, break 225, come up to 245, hold like 225 up to 250. But, this is just tough to make money on, where, you have to sell into these choppy candles. I wouldn't even blame people for wanting to short this into spikes because this one's probably going to go back to like the ones. But BTDG, fantastic spike from the open. I was trying to load up right here, and it was a kind of a tricky stock to get executed on. Not my favorite to try to load up on like a 2-3 cent stock. I mean, this is the most liquid stock in the market too. It's the biggest percent gainer and it's the most liquid. It's already traded nearly 70 million shares in just the first hour of trading. As you can see here, it's kind of like, rounding the turn. I wouldn't be long here. And that's why I sold it a few times here. in the 3 area. And I underestimated it. I didn't get the 3 4s or the 3 5s. I think Jack Kellogg nailed that. But, my first long, solid trade. I mean, this is one of my biggest profits in a while. And I, nailed it, making over 70%. I mean, when do you ever see me make 70% on a trade? And I said it, even when before I sold, it was, I think 2.2. And I was like, this is just beautiful. Like, it's so set up. If you go into my chat room and see my commentary, and I was still holding it, but I was just like, this is beautiful. I wish I had a bigger position. But I'll take what I can get. It's tough with these ultra low price stocks. In a perfect world, this would have been 10 times the price or 100 times the price. Even 100 times the price, we're still talking about like $1.60 stock if it were. But it's not. So these 1, 2, 3 cent stocks are in play. So I take what I can. But this is what every single person with a small account should be trading. It sickens me how many people just invest in like Tesla or Apple or mutual funds, and they make 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50% on their money over the course of a year or two. Or I guess, lately it's been a little rougher the past year. But at the same time, this is nearly 100%, and it actually would have been 100%. I didn't catch the top. There's 100% to be made inside of an hour here if you're prepared with, stocks to trade and the breaking news tab or chat, whatever you want to call it. And again, I'll link those two underneath this video. You choose. I can't force anybody to use the right tools or to study up. But if you want higher odds on every trade, if you want to find stocks like this, you'll load up. That's what this is about. And you don't even have to trade big. You can trade small. You can paper trade it. But the whole key is just getting you to recognize that it is possible to spot and trade the biggest percent winners in the markets before other people. And the reason why is because we are prepared for battle. With the stocks to trade scans, with the stocks to trade breaking news chat, you have better odds than everybody else. I'm not even going to feature anybody on my Twitter because very few people nailed this. And it's just sad. I'm not special. I'm not smart. I'm not great at math. I am just prepared and experienced in battle. And that's what this is all about. You need to get that experience. You need to get that preparation. I offer you the tools. I saw a few people said, Fidelity didn't execute this well, or Thinkorswim didn't execute this well. Yeah, no shit. That's why I don't use those brokers. I use E-Trade and Interactive Brokers. I've said it for years. I've used E-Trade for 2 decades. I used E-Trade on all of these trades. They're not the best broker. They just suck the least. And it still astounds me when I say, look, here are the tools, here are the brokers, here's the plan. And newbies are like, okay. And then they just don't listen at all. And I'm just like, what? I want you to be successful. Is it any wonder that, one of my top upcoming students, Jack Kellogg, also nailed this stock? Is it any wonder? I don't talk to him privately. I'm not like, hey, Jack, we're going to do this trade. He knows the process. He's totally self-sufficient. He found this stock on his own too. And now he's closing in on $1 million in profits. And a lot of people with Fidelity, Thinkorswim, using Finviz, using stock charts, you're just not seeing it. You're not getting executed, and you're wasting money. You're wasting opportunity, and it's just sad. Life is short. You want to make this the best life possible. And in order to make this the best life possible, you need the most money. Not even necessarily the most money. You just need to reach a certain level so that you have freedom, so that you don't have to waste your life working a job that you hate like most people do. If you make a few $1 million, that's really all you need in life. I know that, making billions are cool. I know a few billionaires. They're fucked in the heads, okay? They are not living their best lives. They're living their best financial lives, but that brings up a whole lot of issues. And I actually gave a TED Talk specifically why I will never be a billionaire, because I'm always going to donate too many millions to charity. I have my millions. I help myself. I help my family. I live a good life, and then I donate millions to help others too. And then I teach. And some of you, are just beyond my help. It's really sad. But there's not much I can do. I give you the tools. I give you the strategy. The rest is up to you. If you want to ignore it, that's your decision. I can only do so much, So kind of a sad video, I guess. I'm sorry to end this on a sad note, but I see it clear as day. Another nearly 7K day for me. All of this will be donated to charity. I just want more people to see it. And sometimes, I have to get hard on you. Sometimes I have to come down on you guys because you're just not taking advantage of this stuff. And it's just wasted opportunity. It's wasted money. So click the 2 links below this video. Get in the game. Stop wasting time.